Hi, I'm Jamie, and I'm a processed food addict in recovery. Welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you're here. Always glad you're here. Um, I learned a big lesson last night, and it was really a reminder of a lesson I've learned before in recovery. But it's a topic that um, I think is really important, and I wanted to come in and talk today a little bit about it because I want you guys to know what's possible in recovery in action, right? So what's possible in recovery is cool, but what does it look and feel like in action? And I like to come in here and talk about all like the messy ways that I figure out my recovery so that maybe I can pay it forward and help you have less mess and more success. What's up? All right, here we go. So last night, my husband and I were out doing our thing, and I had a sort of plan in my head. I had an expectation that I would go home after we were done with our errands and have a nice, relaxing evening, reading a book and just having a quiet night. His phone rang, and we got a phone call that folks were coming to the house, and there was a sort of curveball of life thrown at us that we did not expect. And for me, in my recovery, that is certainly a pitfall, something that I have to be aware of and ready to deal with. And I certainly just was not in the mindset to deal with the curveball last night, which that's life, right? That's life on life's terms. And when I get to that place where I had an expectation of how my night was going to go, what opportunities I would have had to sort of relax, and that was redirected away from me, I just, of course, was in like a fearful place, right? I was in, driven by 1,000 forms of fear, as one of the recovery tomes tells us. And when I'm driven by one of my many forms of fear, it's usually because I'm scared of losing something I have or not getting something I want. And I'm also pretty sure that that's what takes me into black and white thinking. Black and white thinking for me looks like I want this and not that, and there are no alternatives. It might also look like it has to be this way and it can't be that way. It becomes like legalistic. And that's just a downfall for me in recovery. Because when I get fixed in my thinking and that there is no way but my way or the highway, then I lose. I lose because that kind of thinking forces solutions. It removes the opportunity for organic connection and, and flow, and it removes the opportunity to let the universe show me other ways. And that is so important in recovery. So here I am last night, sitting in my legalistic place of I don't want that, I want this, and this is the way it needs to be. Certainly not showing up like my best self, by the way. And my husband, my partner, said something to me that was so cool. He just said, it seems like you're at a stuck point. And he said, what if there was another way, another river here that we could flow to another place with? And I just, when I heard him say that, of course, initially, I was not open to that suggestion. And I pretty quickly dismissed it as irrelevant. And then the more I thought about the visual of a river and how that river sort of flows organically, water moving, I thought of my thoughts flowing organically, and it began to sort of calm myself, calm down. And I was able to think more clearly. And I thought, this isn't about, I'm in black and white thinking is what I kind of realized. And then I thought, this isn't about this or that. It's about my recovery. And I'm feeling like my recovery in this moment of life on life's terms is being threatened. And I know I have certain needs in my recovery. Let me break down those needs one day at a time. Well, I know I have the need to do these two crucial things in the next 12 hours that support my recovery. And my fear is that this curveball of life is going to derail that. And so I was able to assess what those needs were. Like, what are the most two critical things that I absolutely will not compromise on? And then I just shared them with my partner. And I said, okay, if this curveball has to come our way, then these are the terms that I need. These are the needs that I have. And we just looked at each other and we're like, well, that's easy. We'll do this, this, and this, and we'll figure out that, that, and that. Done. And we did. And I realized when I'm sitting in one of my 1,000 forms of fear, I overlook the 1,000 shades of gray in options that I have to take me out of my black and white thinking, out of my limited fixed mindset, and into someplace exciting and new and special. And in this case, it really allowed us to find a place of agreement, which was crucial, and also a place of contentment. Man, that is recovery for me, is finding my way back to contentment, finding my way back to peace, finding my way back to serenity, as they say. And when I can find my way back to it, if I lose it, and not if, when I lose it, let's be honest, I can find my way back to recovery. And so last night I was able to do that. And then this morning I had even more, healing and ahas, because I wasn't stuck processing why my black or white thinking didn't come out the way I needed it to, why my black or white circumstances didn't happen. I wasn't stuck resenting that. I had moved through it. I had stated my needs. The needs were being met. And I was able to express other things that were on my mind, things that I needed to talk out and get out of my head. And I'm finding 1,000 shades of gray ways forward for those. And I'm just beyond grateful. It was a big lesson, a big reminder for me last night. I wasn't my best self, certainly, when life's curveball came my way. And I definitely reacted instead of responded. And I'm learning all the reasons why for that. But I have to say that the ability to see what was happening, watch the black and white thinking, course correct, be open to suggestion, and then flow into the 1,000 shades of gray, out of black and white, and flow into 1,000 shades of gray. Doing that in was less than 45 minutes. I'm pretty excited about that. So here I am sharing it with you, coming in today, asking myself, instead of why can't they, or why can't life ... I ask myself, how can I do this differently? How can I assess my needs? How can I assert my needs? And make sure that they are truly needs, and that we find a way, or I find a way, to get them met. My recovery is better for this painful lesson last night, but I'm just so jazzed about it. I wanted to come in and tell you. So if you're still watching, type one of your biggest recovery lessons in the chat, and we can have a conversation below. But I'm thrilled you're here. I'm thrilled to have this channel, and I will see you soon. Have an awesome day.